The dog does stay with the handler. However, there were some extra commands given. Dog does go wide. Does have some minor looking away. So I took a couple points there. 16 out of 20. The figure 8, there was an extra command. The dog does go a little bit wide, 4 out of 5. For the halt, there was an extra command, and the dog sat a little bit crooked. The dog actually went into a down first, then the handler did play it smart and tell him to resit so he could get the down point. But because there was an extra command, I took a point. The down could have been a little bit faster. The food refusal was correct. For the reset, there was an extra command given. For the fast pace, the dog looked away. Slow pace, the dog looked away, nothing major. For the normal, there really was no transition between slow to normal. However, I do take into consideration the handler's leg, but I still wanted to see some type of change of pace there, so I did take a point. The about turn was a little wide. The right turn, there were a couple extra commands given, so I took a point. The down in motion could have been a little bit faster. For the first change of position, the handler does get a little bit louder, but nothing major. For the second change of position, the handler actually turns a little bit, so I took off some more points for that one. For the recall to heel, the dog does come in fast, but he does go around front first. He does settle into the finish, but I took a 1.5. For the left turn, there was an extra command given. For the motion exercise, there was a little bit of a, the steward made a little bit of a mistake. However, I think also the dog kind of anticipated, or the handler kind of paused. So there was a little bit of something going on, but I do try to give the benefit of the doubt, and I did give half the points there, 1.5 out of 3. The obstacles were not demonstrated. The recall could have been a little bit faster, and there was an extra command given. The finish was nice. For the recall over here, the first part of the recall was nice. It was pretty fast. The down, the handler does have to give 3 commands to get the dog to down, so the dog ended up pretty close to the handler before it finally down. So I had to take a majority of the points there. For the recall, because it was so short, but you could tell the dog did want to go to the handler pretty fast, so I just took minor point deduction. The finish, there was a pretty big bump there on the finish. The retrieve was demonstrated nicely. The dog did have trouble getting his mouth around the jug, but nothing major. The dog does demonstrate it, but the presentation, in the level 2s, the dog does have to at least allow the handler to take the object. Dog does drop it, kind of has some trouble picking it up, and the handler does reach down, finally gets it from him, so I just minor point deduction. You do need 75 points in the level 2s to pass. Not quite enough to pass today, but I know we'll see him again.